there, how's it going? Night Owl here. Just thought I'd welcome back my Who crew, and I wanted to talk about an issue that has kind of come about in the last few years, and that is vascular dementia. I have never really heard about it. I've heard about Alzheimer's and everything else, but I never heard about vascular dementia until my mom was diagnosed with it. Technically, we started noticing changes when she was about 60-something, and it didn't get any better until she was, it didn't get any better at all. It just kept getting worse. We noticed she kept asking the same questions over and over again, so we had her tested for Alzheimer's, but that's all we thought it was. Anyways, it turns out that she's had a series of mini strokes, and it's affected every portion of her brain. So it's not just her motor function, it's not just her speech or her reading or her memory or anything. It's everything, and it's really hard. Something that's was really hard this Mother's Day, to have to go visit my mom in a home and not be able to go over for dinner or, take her out for dinner or something like that. It was just really hard. So I wanted to talk about it because I want people to be more aware of what it's about, what happens, different things. But just know I am not an expert. I'm only going on research that I researched on the internet and also from personal experience with my mom. It says that vascular dementia is a general term describing problems with reasoning, planning, judgment, memory, and thought process. So my mom can't cook anymore because she can't remember the steps of how to prepare anything. She has no concept of time. If you went to see her today and then you went to see her tomorrow, she doesn't remember that you were there the day before. Stuff like that. She doesn't, she has no concept of what time of day it is. She has no sense of direction. It's like living in a constant state of confusion. It says that it's caused by damage to the brain from impaired blood flow. Vascular dementia can develop after a stroke blocks an artery in your brain, but strokes don't always cause dementia. So it's not, dementia is not always caused by strokes. There are actually a couple of women that are in the nursing home my mom is in who are well aware of everything, but have had strokes and just have lost ability in a part of their body that they can't move anymore, that's made it so that they can't live on their own anymore. It says that it's an inadequate blood flow that can damage and kill cells anywhere in the body over time. So it may start in the brain, but it can slowly affect the entire body, which is, so early signs of it, in case that you have a family member you're worried about that may be showing signs of, say, Alzheimer's or something. Beginning signs are slowness of thought. So if it takes them a while to get a thought out, that is a sign. Difficulty with planning, trouble with understanding things, problems with concentration, which I have problems with concentration all the time, but that's just because I have 4 boys, and if I was able to concentrate, yeah, okay. Anyways, it's not simply a mental ailment that accompanies older age. It can be in younger people, but it's more prominently noticeable in older people. It can shorten life, but many live for a number of years. So in that instance, my mom was starting to show signs when, like I said, when she was about almost 15 years ago, she started to show signs. We never really thought anything of it then. We just thought it was typical stress, forgetfulness, and whatever. We didn't realize what was happening. It can get worse over time, which for her, with the type of dementia she has, it's a constant downhill. Like with Alzheimer's, at least there's like a plateau, and then there's a bit of a dip, and then it stays that way for a while, and then it dips, and whatever. With my mom's, it's constantly downhill, so there's no there's no lull in anything. She just constantly declines over time. Treatment can slow down the progression, but there really is no cure for dementia. So keep praying. There may be one. Vascular dementia can be genetic. So I'm kind of worried about it because I'll be 46 this year. So, you know, I've got about another 20 years maybe before it starts to hit me. So I'm trying to take steps to see if, you know, to keep my mind going so that I don't, you know, lose it. Now it says too, a person can live up 8 to 10 years past when it starts. And like I said, my mom has been diagnosed for over 15 years, or around 15 years, so it doesn't necessarily end their life right away. But life expectancy does vary depending on the person. It also depends on the type of dementia, right? Some forms of dementia are worse, some are not. So most times the cause of death is not the dementia, but other health-related issues. So just because they have the dementia doesn't mean that other health issues can't be a factor on that. 7 stages. Stage 1, there was no detection at all, which we had no clue. We just thought she was being forgetful. Stage 2 is a very moderate decline. Stage 3 is obviously when it's a mild decline. Stage 4 is a moderate decline. 5 is a moderately severe decline. Stage 6 is a severe decline. And stage 7 is very severe. Medications can help with temporary improvement, such as Aricept, Exelon, and Razidine. But they're temporary. Excuse me, but the one that they were offering my mom, they said, well, this can help, but it may cause problems with cancer. So we decided no. One thing is hard enough to deal with than having to deal with another one. Other symptoms that you may notice in the person is forgetfulness, changes in speech, clumsiness or falling a lot, changes in personality and mood, so changes in personality, mood, plague, entangles, and stop communication between the nerve cells, and can cause them to die. So basically what's happened with my mom with the mini strokes, it's caused calcification in the nerves, and the blood vessels, and it's caused the blood vessel to die. So that's what's affecting her memory and stuff like that. It's a cognitive impairment caused by damage to the blood vessels in the brain, stroke, or several mini strokes. So yeah, that's all the information I have on that. But just so you know, like, it's hard not to be frustrated sometimes when you're working with a dementia patient. But with my mom, we just kind of slough it off. You know, when we have to leave, my dad says, I have to go to work, because she's always thinking he's going to work, because he's worked all of his life. So she thinks when he's leaving, he's going to work. And of course I tell her, I said, Mom, I got to go feed my kids, you know, I'll be back, you know. So that's how we kind of have to sneak out sometimes, because she will follow us. They do have moments of depression and stuff like that, where they just don't understand why they can't go home with their family, feelings of being alone and stuff, which make it really hard. Little comments that she makes to me sometime, you know, make it really hard and stuff like that. But just all in all, know that it's not them who is acting out if they're getting mad or stuff like that. It is the disease. And we just kind of have to go with it. If they're telling you stories that make no sense, just go, oh, okay, really? You know, okay, sure. Okay, well, I'll check into that. You know, just kind of make them to the point where they feel comfortable. You know, let them know that, okay, well, they believe me. They think I'm okay, right? You know, and just, you know, go with it. And yeah, it's hard. With some people are worse than others. Some people are happy-go-lucky. They have no cares in the world. They're always laughing, smiling. And then there's some people who are very angry because, and it just depends, right? Because it can affect their mood and everything else. So, but my mom has little moments of joy where my mom is always hugging everybody and stuff like that. So it's just different that way and stuff. But, yeah, so that's all the information. But I wanted to let you guys know, but please know that you're not alone. We all need to stick together and pray for each other. So for anybody who is dealing with Alzheimer's or vascular dementia or any form of dementia, just remember that there is always someone out there that can help you. You can go to the Alzheimer's Society or, I don't know, just search online for groups that you can talk to. You won't be alone. You'll always have someone to talk to. Like, thank God I still have my dad and my brother and stuff. But I do go to counseling myself because it's hard. It really is. And, but thank you so much for listening. I hope that I helped and gave you some information that you may not have had before. And like I said, I'm not a professional, so I'm going on what I've learned off the internet and from personal experience with my mom. So I hope you all have a great day, and God bless.